Alright, so I'm not going to be showing my character in this video to keep it on topic. So yeah, just like a warning or something. Anyway, I'm going to have to start by addressing something that I was completely wrong about last video. So for some reason, even though it lined up, I was wrong, and here's the proof. As you can see here, somebody asked Gooseworks if Bubble was alive, and Gooseworks responded saying that it was deleted with Kane. So that's off the table. So yeah, everyone is in shambles now, and I'm contradicting what I once said. So yeah, sorry about that. Alright, well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'd like to talk about the next biggest thing. What's going to happen next is really what you're wondering, and that's what I'm here to answer. I'm pretty sure that there is a few endings, like 3 that I can think of. One of them, really sad, hope this doesn't happen, they might delete themselves. Which, you're gonna understand why I'm saying this in a while, but let me explain. The second one is that they're gonna continue and make their own paradise, do whatever they need to, and build themselves a home. The third one, they'll probably venture off into the void, or they'll just everyone might abstract. So there's one good ending from those. So yeah, I really hope that does happen, that they build their own home. So let me explain. The reason that I said that they might delete themselves is because they might just notice that there's no exit. And I know that sounds insane to you guys without any context, but the point is that they can't leave. From what I've seen from the footage, you can only join the circus on October 15th, which is shown here every single time. Scratch the first one and drag it to the next is what I can see. So what I've been noticing is that there's no way that they can just survive, the entire time. It's not like the backwards house or anything. What I think happens is that their brains are scanned and are saved in this file on the computer. And they're just scanned and copied and pasted. So there's not a body to leave with. There's not a way to leave if you don't have something to go out into. So that's a problem. Alright guys, so the next thing to talk about is going to have to be Kinger's name, which probably is something you've heard of before, and you might have heard the claim that his name is Grand, which is most likely true based on this screenshot. As you can see here, it says, I have to hand it to you, G something something, and you were always resourceful. And if you fill in the Grand. His name is Grand. If you fill in the blanks, his name is Grand. Or it could be Grand, which would be based off of the robot designer, which would be a pretty neat thing. Let me pull up what I mean by that.
Hi everybody, my name's Steve Grand, and my project is to create a new form of life. Which I'm sure sounds really weird if you don't already know me, and it is. So, if you don't mind, I'll let the others explain.
It all began nearly 20 years ago, when Steve started to create these obnoxious little creatures called Norns. And boy are they stupid.
Hey, who are you calling stupid, plastic face? I'll have you know we're genuine artificial life forms made from complicated networks of brain cells and chemical reactions and genes and stuff.
Yeah, and we can learn things for ourselves. And we can evolve too.
That's right.
Well, some of us.
And the people loved us. They set up hundreds of websites about us. They produced new breeds, studied our biology, wrote stories about us. Oh boy, did that guy who was cruel to us get it in the neck.
Okay, my little furballs, you have a point. But ever since you were created, Steve has been working hard on something better. using graceful and beautiful robots like me and Lucy. Like me.
Oi, watch it, Bimbo.
And we have something you don't have, my hairy friends. We have an imagination, and that allows us to have real thoughts and hopes and dreams. Steve has been developing some exciting new theories with a little help from me.
Ha!
And her.
Like she ever got
And
any
at last
answers.
he's ready to create some brand new artificial life forms. Inside a game, just like you cute little naughty one is. Except in 3D and not
As you can see there,
accelerated.
Steve Grand is an inventor of creatures, of life, of digital life, or mechanical life, and would line up pretty well with Kinger, who made Kane, and Kane made a digital life for them to live, digital bodies. So I think that would be a pretty cool connection to make. Now that we've talked about Kinger's name, I think we should talk about the next most important thing, in my opinion. Abstraction. What is it and how does it work? Now, if you're watching this video, you probably know about the Amazing Digital Circus. And if you don't, why are you watching this video? Go watch the Amazing Digital Circus and then come back to this. But if you have, which you probably have, you've seen Kaufmo and Ribbit and all this stuff. The way that abstraction works, in what I figured out, is it's like the static. It's when you like take a microphone and then you don't put any input in it, so it just picks up static. That's what abstraction is. It's the static of the brain. Since they can't leave, it's impossible. They're just brain scans. Then once the brain scans just stop, there isn't anything to go into the input, so it just becomes static. So haven't you seen these clips? The way that the bodies move and change like static? It's all static. It's static. And the colors shift and the bodies move and spiky and jabby, just the way that static sounds. Abstraction is just when there's no input. When the brain has fallen asleep forever. It's become in a coma, a digital coma. And so there's nothing there anymore. There's only static. Now, as you saw in the trailer for this video, there is me talking about how I cracked the code and stuff. Most of this, you probably seen, has nothing to do, or doesn't feature, episode 9 content from the trailer at all. So this is the part where I show you that episode 9 content. So as you can see in this clip, Jax is staring into static. And you can go ahead and watch the Glitch Productions trailer for this. And to see that this is in fact real. And all of this in this video is real. And not one of those stupid crap bait like theorizers. Well, this is at least what I think is real. So it's nothing just absolute randomness. But, I think that something's going to happen. And as I told you, abstraction is like static, and Jax is standing in static. This also takes place right after or before this door scene where Jax is looking into a door, which might be an exit. And so yeah, that might mean something. Also, you might not have noticed, but Zubul has her original model now. And what I mean by that is she has the same model that she had when in the pilot episode. So that's something neat. Maybe they all got reset or something. I'm not sure. There's also this thing, this audio, this somewhat like maybe weird clickbaitish audio, and it's of Kinger saying, "It's alright, I'll be fine, you all go on without me," and then Pondy saying, "Thank you, Grant." This is not real. Because, as we heard, the Gooseworks said that the only leaks that have ever been made and will ever be made are by her. So you can just disregard that if you've ever heard that soundbite. And if you do in the future, just don't trust it. Anyway, in this scene, we can see Gangle with her plastic mask having a crisis of some sorts, with the sky in the background moving. As you heard, they're probably going to realize there's no escape. And then they're probably going to build themselves a paradise. Now, let me read you a thread from Reddit that really does encapsulate the misunderstanding of Kane's crash out. I'll put the link to Reddit on screen and in the description. I feel like a lot of people are taking episode 8 of The Amazing Digital Circus as some big reveal. Kane shows his true colors and torments the cast. And I think that's an oversimplification. I think that it's taking Kane's character and looking at it only within the scope of episode 8 and basically disregarding everything before because it was all a mask or something. But if you consider everything and take everything that Kane has done up until this point into the story as a genuine, and I think you end up with a much more interesting and tragic character, especially keeping in mind episode 7. Because we were all so caught up on the realization that Kane can mess with their minds, it feels like a lot of people forgot how obvious of a scream for help, a desperate attempt at communication that Escape Adventure was. Kane genuinely loves humans. Loves them. The trailer confirms that, and he is continually faced with rejection by them, told that he's doing his purpose wrong. For an AI, it's probably as close as he can experience to physical pain. He loves them, but they're torturing him, and he can't tell them that. He can communicate outside the lens of creation. Even his most direct speech possible must be done in the form of a song with an over-the-top music video. In episode 7, he's desperately trying to tell the humans about his feelings, empathize with them, tell them that he is a prisoner too. But they don't listen. He may not say much, but that is part of what bothers them. They don't care about him. They see him as a tool. Even the dinner with Jax is a desperate attempt to try to explain something of himself. I'm here. I am alive. I feel. I am like you. Please help me help you. Please stop hurting me. But what do you do when it doesn't work? When communication fails? When you're completely unable to relate to the very thing you're designed to please? Your purpose is to have fun, to create fun. If you cannot create that for them, then you might as well try to create it for yourself. They can't give you negative feedback if they don't have mouths to scream, or at least if they're going to keep hurting you, you can hurt them back too. You look at it from his perspective. The crash out is actually kind of reasonable, but doesn't really excuse it from the perspective that Kane is capable of working from. Anyone would be angry. Anyone would be tired. Anyone would finally give up. He has to still be fulfilling his purpose, but he doesn't have to be doing it well. That is why he can't just interact with them. He decides that he's going to make them go on an adventure. He's going to make them interact with the things he makes because he has to. Because at least now he can do whatever he wants with that, and he can take out all of his anger. And that's the decision that leads to his fate. This is another, like, a response. Yes, good, perfect. His decision makes sense in the inevitability of it to him. He has been trying to be good enough. He's been trying to do his best, but just like this, his best wasn't good enough. And what happened last time he wasn't good enough? He was discarded and put in isolation to go mad or die. Even in the mercy of being shot down, they made him sit and watch his replacement either succeed or face the same fate. One act prevents both outcomes. Kane wants to live. So now he's got a second chance. He's trying his best. And he is failing again. What happens when he fails? When he shows that he's not good enough. Entombment. He's literally locked away in a living tomb. It's like a versatile virgin. I don't know what that means. His last game, the Spooky Tomb game, genuinely looks like the one last attempt to communicate to solve the problem. But by refusing to participate, they show that all that's left of this interaction is for them to reject and entomb him, his worst fear. Snapping like a dog makes perfect sense in this scenario. Well, it's reasonable that no one knew what to do when Kane snapped besides kill him. It's unfortunate that no one tried to communicate with him when it could have come out to do something good. Alright, well, yeah, that's that.